Hi everybody, happy Friday. This week we are talking about pause. And my daughter taught me something that I had never known before, and that was that when you're watching a YouTube video, you can hit the space bar and it'll pause your video. That came in super handy last weekend when I was trying to watch a video of something that I missed on TV, but she kept popping in and out and in and out of the living room, and so I would pause and play and pause and play, and finally I came to the realization that I wasn't supposed to keep pausing and playing. I was supposed to pause, put up the computer, take care of what she needed me for, and then later when I had a few moments of downtime, when I could concentrate on what I was trying to look at, then I could play the video that I wanted to see, and I wouldn't have to pause it and then play it and pause it again. I think it's very important for the times in our lives, or even the times during a certain season when we hit pause because we need to regroup, or we need to take a moment to just get out of our normal flow of our lives and rest. Really just let ourselves be free to just be in the moment and really absorb what the Lord is saying to us, to really take those times to just physically rest as well. But it's so important that we don't prolong that we do rest for a short time or a set amount of time and then get back into our normal lives. We see this quite a bit in several different stories in the Bible. We have the story of Jonah, where he had this mission from God and he was like, no, I don't want to do that. And he kind of hit pause and then he ran away, and he was trying to run away from what God had for him. But he ended up being shown the error of his ways, because you can't really run from something that God tells you or wants you to do. In the end, it all comes around to work out the way it's supposed to work out. And so even though he hit pause for what he thought was going to be for good, it ended up only being for a short while. And we also see when we get to a point in a story or in a book, we hit pause because we're afraid of what's going to happen next, or we are not sure we can handle what's coming up on the other side of that pause. And that's very true for Jesus's disciples, because most of them didn't think that they were worthy to be one of his special people who were there living and breathing day in and day out with him. And a lot of them just had to hit the pause and question themselves and the relationship. And it's okay to do that, but it's not okay when you hit pause so long that you miss out on the blessings that God has for you, that you don't step into the things that only you can do, that God has given you the power and the purpose to do. Or just out of fear, because we have hundreds of instances in the Bible where God tells us not to be afraid, do not fear, because he is with us. And many years ago, actually almost 10 years ago, I had the chance to put together a fundraiser for Relay for Life, which was very near and dear to my heart because my dad passed away from lung cancer. And so I was heading up a team, and I had this idea to do a fundraiser and with the Rush Gym. So we were trying to put together this big event at a local shopping center. It had lots of moving parts, and I was single-handedly trying to do this while also working my full-time job. And night after night, I would be super tired from working all day and have to find the energy to put together marketing information, to look for sponsors for the event, to order all the little pieces and things that we had to put together for the big day. And time again, I would find myself asking the Lord for help, praying for him to help me in that moment where I really wanted to press pause, and at sometimes even wanted to stop altogether. But I knew I couldn't do that because I had made promises. I had started this thing and I was bound and determined I was going to finish it. And I couldn't let being tired, overcome what good was going to come of the event. And so it's not that I was down and out and God was my last resource, He was the only resource that can make up the difference that I needed in those days when I was just weary and worn. And even when I did have to hit pause occasionally just to kind of regroup and really rest and then get back on track, He was there for me. And the day of the event, it went perfectly. Everything was fine and smooth. But what I found out not too long after that was that I actually found out that I was pregnant with my daughter. And that was a big revelation, a big blessing come true. And I did have to pause for a little bit after that to like readjust to being a mom and all that that brings. But I also found a new joy, a new happiness, a new calling, a new purpose. And God has been there each and every step of the way. And there are times when I have to hit pause, but there are many times when that is super short and I know that what He has for me is good. Even if I press pause, I can get back into play, and what He has for me is so great and rewarding and joyful. Even in dark times, He will see me through, and the same is true for each and every one of you. So I hope that if you hit pause this weekend, you take some time out to re-energize and find your way, or just to rest and then get back into play. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.